Ladies and gentlemen, you won't believe the royal earthquake shaking Buckingham Palace tonight. In a twist straight out of a Hollywood scandal sheet, whispers from behind the gilded gates say Queen Camilla has been cast out. Yes, thrown out, after King Charles himself caught her in the most shocking betrayal of their marriage. This isn't just a tiff over tea and crumpets. We're talking about a royal love story crumbling under the weight of secrets, passion, and a heart-stopping moment no one saw coming. So pour yourself a cup of coffee, settle into your armchair, and let's take you inside the palace walls, where the truth is juicier than any soap opera and the consequences could shake the crown itself. If you watch the coronation footage closely, the tension is unmistakable. As King Charles III and Queen Camilla rose from their thrones on that historic Saturday in Westminster Abbey and began walking toward the grand exit, every head bowed, every knee bent in respect to the king. Yet when Camilla passed, not a single head moved. Arms stayed firmly at sides, faces frozen. It was a silent message from the inner circle. Resentment ran deep. No one could have predicted how far this rift would go. Once crowned alongside Charles, Queen Camilla now finds herself shut out of the palace, her title stained with scandal. The whispers have become headlines, an illicit relationship with a former royal aide, and worse, links to the disappearance of treasured heirlooms belonging to the late Princess Diana. The betrayal was twofold: personal to Charles and treacherous to the crown. The turning point came on June 25, 2025. King Charles began his morning in Buckingham Palace, as he often did, Earl Grey in hand, reports stacked neatly on his desk. Among them, slipped without fanfare into the pile, was an anonymous dossier. Inside, high-resolution surveillance stills, dated May 11th, 13th, showing Camilla in a private embrace with Edward Langley, a longtime palace staffer whose acquaintance with her stretched back to 1999. Camilla had told Charles she was on a solitary wellness retreat to recover from stress. The photos told a different story. Wine glasses on a side table, their silhouettes behind a curtained window, and a familiarity that left little to the imagination. Initially, Charles wanted to believe there was some mistake, but Palace Security's intelligence unit, a discreet branch rarely spoken of publicly, confirmed the images were genuine, cross-checking Langley's ID, travel logs, and exact entry-exit times on Windsor grounds. That confirmation ignited a deeper probe. What began as an inquiry into infidelity began revealing troubling overlaps with vault access records. On April 22nd, Camilla had entered the royal heirloom vault, supposedly for heritage research. That same week, she departed the palace with a locked trunk, an item not logged in the official artifact checkout system. The order from the king was simple: follow the trunk, follow the man. The investigation's findings struck at the monarchy's core. This was no mere love affair. It was the quiet removal of royal history. The July 1st internal report confirmed Camilla had used a dormant override code from 2014 to bypass standard protocol. That very day, Diana's caterpillar earrings and the Spencer choker, valued together at $650,000, were reported missing in the quarterly archive review. CCTV from Clarence House showed her vehicle parked at the loading bay for 45 minutes as a trunk was carried aboard. Its destination matched the same Windsor area suite where Langley stayed during the so-called retreat. The trunk never returned. When Palace Intelligence retrieved encrypted messages from Camilla's tablet, the tone was intimate and incriminating. "You always knew me better than he did," one read. Another, "This time, it's ours." The words revealed not only emotional betrayal, but also an intent to pass pieces of Britain's heritage to someone outside the royal bloodline. On the evening of July 1st, Charles summoned Camilla to the Blue Room of Buckingham Palace. The doors were shut, staff dismissed. In front of him lay the photographs, the security logs, and the transcribed messages. He asked, calmly but gravely, "Who is he?" And then, "Where is the trunk?" Her initial denials, an old friend, a wellness break, fell apart when confronted with the vault records. She could not explain how Diana's jewels had ended up in her daughter's possession, nor why they were gone from the vault altogether. For Charles, the blow cut through decades of fragile trust. From Diana's heartbreak in the early 90s, to the public scandals of Tampon Gate, to the long, uneasy road to the 2005 marriage. That night, the king did not sleep. By dawn, he had resolved to act. Camilla's access to vaults, councils, and ceremonial archives would be revoked within 48 hours. But even as Charles moved to contain the damage, another royal figure had been quietly watching from the wings, ready to step forward: Princess Anne. On June 29, 2025, Buckingham Palace hosted a quiet luncheon to honor Princess Charlotte's latest charity milestone. It was a small gathering, just 32 guests, mostly family and trusted aides. At 12:14 p.m., Catherine arrived wearing a soft blue day dress once worn by Princess Diana in 1995. As she entered the room, her eyes immediately caught on Laura Lopes, Camilla's daughter, sitting by the north window. Dangling from Laura's ears was a striking pair of 3-drop pearl earrings, diamond-tipped and gleaming in the sunlight. Catherine froze. Within minutes, she discreetly had her assistant fetch the heirloom catalog from the Windsor archive. The match was undeniable, a 1986 state gift from Qatar to Princess Diana, famously worn during her visit to the London Opera on October 14th of that year. The serial markings and clasp design were identical. Catherine didn't confront Laura right away. She waited, calculating her moment. At 12:42 p.m., in full view of the guests, she asked calmly, "Where did you get those earrings?" Laura stammered, "A gift from Mom. She said they were hers to pass down." Without a word, Catherine turned to the palace gemologist, already present due to security concerns, and handed the earrings over for verification. By 1 p.m., it was confirmed. These were the originals, last recorded in March 2023, intended as a gift for Princess Charlotte's 18th birthday in 2043. Later that night, William arrived at 10:08 p.m. Catherine whispered a single word to him: "Confirmed." The room went silent. King Charles, informed privately, chose not to attend the luncheon, but immediately convened his legal advisors. William later summed it up: "She tried to insert her bloodline into a legacy that isn't hers. That's not inheritance, that's infiltration." For Charles, that was the breaking point. Camilla hadn't just lied, she had used royal history to rewrite royal destiny. Seeing Diana's earrings on someone with no royal title drove the point home. What followed inside Clarence House was not public theater but private humiliation. On July 3, 2025, Charles called an emergency royal council. Just 5 people: himself, William, Catherine, Princess Anne, and the royal constitutional advisor. No press, no public statement. Laying photos, security logs, gemologist reports, and inventory discrepancies on the table, Charles said firmly, "This is no longer a family dispute. This is a breach of Crown protocol." Anne was blunt. "She has used our mother's name, our history, and our grief as a bargaining chip." William, silent until prompted, said only, "My mother was erased once. We won't let it happen again." Catherine remained quiet, hands folded over the vault's latest inventory list, her silence more powerful than outrage. Charles issued 5 immediate orders. Camilla's palace entry suspended as of July 4, 2025. Her communications staff reassigned by July 6th. All vault and archive access codes changed by midnight. Her royal security detail cut in half. The Queen Consort title retained for protocol only. All duties removed. That evening, Camilla received a sealed envelope from Charles's personal courier. Inside, his royal seal and 3 handwritten words: "Trust is broken." By dawn on July 6th, the story had leaked. The Times headline blazed, "Queen Camilla in secret affair and jewel theft scandal." Photos from her May 2025 Windsor retreat with a mystery man appeared beside official palace logs showing unauthorized vault access. The most explosive headline read, "Legacy Betrayed. Diana's jewels found on Camilla's daughter." Social media erupted. Hashtags like "Cheating Queen," "Diana Deserved Better," and "Not My Queen" trended across 93 countries. A viral side-by-side video of Laura wearing the 1986 earrings and Diana in the originals racked up 4.7 million views in 12 hours. BBC broke into regular programming for a live special, "The Queen Who Went Too Far." Tabloids were merciless. Legacy looted, betraying Diana twice, Camilla's final fall. YouGov polls on July 7th showed Camilla's approval plummeting to 21%, her lowest since joining the family in 2005. Catherine's favorability soared to 85%, while Charlotte emerged as a new symbol of protected legacy. The next morning, July 7th, King Charles signed his final order. Camilla was officially downgraded to a non-operational royal. She retained the Queen Consort title in name only, but was stripped of all ceremonial roles, event invitations, and vault access. By 6 p.m., her aides were dismissed, and she was driven to Ray Mill House in Wiltshire, her private estate, far from Windsor's inner circle. She could not return to any royal residence without written permission from the king. At Ray Mill, Camilla reportedly spent her first 2 days alone. Her children visited briefly, avoiding reporters. Her former driver later said, "She didn't speak the whole ride, just stared out the window, pale and hollow. The Queen Consort had become a ghost." That afternoon, Charles sent a private note to staff. "No one, not even those we once loved, stands above legacy. My duty is to the crown and to the memory of those who built it." The letter was never made public, but insiders say it now hangs in Charles's private study, framed beside a 1982 portrait of Queen Elizabeth II and Princess Diana. With Camilla gone, all eyes turned to Catherine, the quiet guardian now tasked with restoring the vaults, the memory, and the public's trust. On the morning of July 8, 2025, at exactly 10:30 a.m., Princess Catherine stepped into the royal vault beneath Windsor Castle. Only one person joined her, Lady Eleanor Moore, the Crown's chief archivist. Together, they began securing every artifact connected to Princess Diana: the 1981 Spencer choker, the 1985 sapphire brooch, and a handwritten letter Diana had left for William before her passing in 1997. The vault's biometric system was reset. Now only Catherine and the future steward for Princess Charlotte would have access. When the final drawer slid shut, Catherine placed one more item inside, a single envelope. In delicate script, it read, "For Charlotte, in strength and memory, love, Mommy." Those weren't just a mother's words. They were a promise. Staff present described the moment as quiet, yet monumental. It wasn't about titles or publicity. It was about safeguarding what others had once tried to take. That afternoon, Kensington Palace released 2 photographs, Catherine in front of the vault doors and Charlotte holding a framed picture of Diana. The images spread across the world, shared more than 32 million times in under 2 days. A new hashtag emerged, "Legacy Secured," and public support soared. Polls showed 85% of Britons wanted Catherine to have a greater role in royal decisions, with 72% believing she should one day be queen, not simply by marriage, but by national will. Yet while Catherine was locking away history, another chapter was being forced into the light. Camilla's past, long whispered about, returned in full force. By July 10th, a media storm became a reckoning. Old scandals resurfaced, beginning with the infamous 1993 Tampon Gate tapes that confirmed her affair with Charles while he was married to Diana. What once divided opinion now fueled outrage, especially as new allegations tied Camilla to theft, manipulation, and unrecorded withdrawals from the royal vault. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss out on the latest updates. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next video.